Good evening, welcome to the Dugout. We're counting down to the Asia Cup. How many days to go?
7 days, exactly a week from now.
Ooh, first match would be played.
Yes, and India's game would be on Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
That's so less than a week to go for the Asia Cup. It's been a long gap between the England series and the Asia Cup. But of course, all of us are looking forward to the tournament. More so because it's a slight new look Indian team. It was anyway a new look Indian team the last 1 year, but now that change has happened because Shubman has come in. All players were made available. They were there. Jasprit Bumrah will also be playing after a gap. So really looking forward to that tournament. So I think maybe today we're not discussing that, but maybe from
Day after tomorrow, when the Indian team starts going in batches to the UAE.
Yeah, I think we must start focusing on some previews. Maybe we can pick a team each on a given day.
Yes.
And start our Asia Cup build-up. I'm sure our viewers would like some sort of insight. So let's start focusing on that. Today, of course, we're discussing another issue at hand because, as you know, Indian cricket is never short of
controversies, news.
Controversy. Everything is available.
Yeah.
Though today, in cricket, there's been a bit of a lull, all right. But
although today's been the day of 2 retirements.
Oh, yeah.
Mitchell Starc has retired from T20 ice to prolong his Test and ODI career. And a certain Asif Ali has retired from international cricket altogether. I think every people who want to know who Asif Ali is, he last played in that Kohli goes down the ground, Kohli goes out of the ground. That was his last game for Pakistan.
Oh.
Yeah. And he had a strike rate of 134. But many people will know him for that 4 sixes. He almost did a Carlos Brathwaite against Afghanistan.
I remember he did have a very good PSL, and then after that he was looked at as one of your big hitters for Pakistan cricket, especially in that middle order to finish a lot of innings. That was his speciality and was brought in. Obviously did not really replicate that form.
Only some very fleeting glimpses we have seen of him. But yeah, he's retired. And that's why Starc T20A retirement and Asif Ali retirement.
But this again, I mean, I have to give credit to Starc and a lot of these English players as well. How they put Test cricket over and above everything else. But this is his international retirement or T20 cricket per se? Or
T20I retirement.
So he'll play IPL?
He will play IPL. But looking at the schedule, it may be tough for him to play the IPL also because Australia have a packed calendar until 2027. So that's why, how are they going to go about it? They've got tours to South Africa, they've got an India tour, they've got the World Cup, they also have the Ashes 2027 in England and the 150th anniversary test match. So all that, I think Starc, he will always put test cricket first. By the way, it could be the last couple of years for this power duo. Alisa Healy is also potentially playing a last World Cup in this 2025. Her spate, she's had a list of injuries, which is why I think 2029, I don't think she can play. So the power duo of world cricket, it's probably their last few years when you look at it.
Because there's an ODI happening. I was just checking the score. England, South Africa.
England, in Leeds. Man, September. Who plays cricket in September? And then there's football season in the United Kingdom. Who plays there?
And there is also the Tri-Series game, Pakistan-Afghanistan.
Yeah.
The earlier one was
preview to the final.
One-sided encounter, the first one. Let's see this one.
It's a preview to the final and also Asia Cup whenever they play. Although I don't know if Afghanistan can qualify. They're in a group of death. Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka.
Yeah. You mean qualify for Super 4?
Super 4s,
one between Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan will miss out.
So that's the thing.
That's for the Asia Cup preview day. What else is happening in the world of cricket?
Well, the one thing that has gotten Australia and India at loggerheads is one player.
Amongst many other things.
Many other things.
Because
But one player's omission from an Indian
right
side.
now, they are loggerheads because in Australia, there are these anti-immigrant protests that are happening across all cities. I know it's a little away from cricket, but you're talking about
Yeah,
India and Australia because it also affects a lot of Indians
correct.
who are one of the largest immigrant population now in Australia. So these protests are happening everywhere where Australians, or how do I put it, European
Yeah, descent
origin
Australians. Yeah.
Australians are going and saying that enough of immigrants, don't allow them in. They're coming here and stealing our jobs, and there's crime and so on and so forth. They're objecting about a lot of things. Only thing that I find absolutely ridiculous in all of this is that these are the people who are immigrants themselves.
Correct.
In a land where they were actually brought in as prisoners and they stayed back and now claim that that's their land, when they themselves pushed the Aboriginals out, the native Australians out, massacred so many of them, occupied that land, and
they clearly aren't
made
following
it everything like a second version of UK with that culture, the language. Their flag also has the Union Jack in it. All of it from there they put here. They are saying that now, so we as immigrants came and took over this land is fine, but the next set of immigrants should not be.
Yeah, they clearly aren't following the Australian cricket team, because you see all the shirts that they have been designed, it's according to the Aboriginal beliefs. The stadiums have also been named after the Aboriginal ones also.
You can do all the damage control as you want. It's not going to take away from the fact that you took over their land and everything else. Now you're trying to atone for your sins by giving it that name and bringing that culture back, and in New Zealand renaming those places back to their
the Maori
names.
ones. Yep.
Fine, you're doing that, which is a good step. I completely agree. You're going back to what the natives and how they had that land, which is fine. But then you can't be selective, no? That's completely selective. That okay, now we have come, so we are now Australians.
Seems like a repeat of 6-7. Remember, same things were happening in Australia, which all exploded into the Monkey Gate fiasco. It was happening amidst all of that in Australia, and there was a film also which was done on that, Bollywood film. I think, Crook.
You are the
you can
expert.
do it
Bollywood
with
expert.
Henna Pavan, Crook. It was based on the Australian racism thing which was going on at that time with Indians. So so it's not just Indian, just everybody immigrant, but as I said, it does affect a lot of Indian population. And then that again, as I said, that's a bit funny. One, for there being the immigrants there, and now themselves being immigrants are saying next should not come, and then they are okay in other things. They want India to tour there, and then it is great for their eyeballs. Then they are happy to have Indian team come. They are happy to even say that India-Pakistan game, why not in MCG? Because that will get them money, so eyeballs. They are happy to host Indians and Pakistani. That time they are absolutely fine with it. I met the Australian High Commissioner.
Yeah. He offered to say that we should have more cultural exchanges, and we are hosting the Olympics. India is bidding for the next Olympics, so we can give all that. So, and yet things that don't suit you don't want them to come. Things that suit you, say.
There are the lunatic fringes that will ensure that these kind of things get totally demoralized. Cultural exchange.
Sorry, coming back to the other bit of India-Australia rivalry. What is it?
One player has put Australia and India at loggerheads, and that is Shreyas Iyer.
Oh my God.
Shreyas Iyer's
poor guy has been ignored in the T20 squad, is doing nothing, and he's put...
Yes. Because Brad Haddin on a YouTube channel, he said that I was shocked when Shreyas Iyer was omitted. Because we've coached him at Punjab Kings. We saw what he had to offer. As a leader, he led from the front. Pressure situations, he delivered. But apparently, that comment has not gone down well earlier with Sunil Gavaskar. I mean, he had said that, why do foreigners have to talk about Indian selection and put more fuel to the fire? For him, Indian selection is strictly none of their business. He didn't mince, as usual. Sunil sir doesn't mince his words. And he said that. And Brad Haddin later on said, "Oh, we are getting famous worldwide. Someone's listening to us." That is the thing he gave. So, on Shreyas Iyer's omission, these war of words has sparked.
This is what, okay, now that I see, this is what Brad Haddin has said, and I quote, he said, "Our job is to give an opinion on what's topical in world cricket. That's what we do. We coached him, that is Iyer, in the IPL, and I stand by my take." So, there's a bit of a exchange of war of words or exchange of words that is happening right now. Thoughts on this? What do you...
I mean, I found it very surprising because you are the superpower. You are the economic might of cricket is India.
What do you make of the core issue that Mr. Gavaskar has? Is that a valid...
I found it not valid for two reasons. One, if you are a minnow nation, then okay, you may have that inferiority complex that okay, we don't comment, they don't comment, fine. But you are the economic might of the nation, of the sport. Definitely, a Shreyas Iyer and every other Indian cricketer will be far well known in Australia, in New Zealand, in England, in South Africa because of their exploits in the IPL and in international cricket. How can one not comment on anything that is happening in Indian cricket? It's unreasonable to expect that. Second, India is the heartbeat of cricket, whether you like it or not. That subjects you to open criticism, praise, scrutiny, appreciation. Even though if they are foreigners, so what? By telling them to censure them that okay, let us not discuss. Why should we discuss on selection? But boss, the world is now one because of the IPL. So I found it very baffling. Why would Sunil Gavaskar lash out?
See, I mean, on the base of it, what you're saying is in a way correct, that everyone has a right to have an opinion. To that core point, I have no disagreement. But I have a contrary view to what you have on this issue. For starters, this is one thing that has been common with Mr. Gavaskar, that this is not a new opinion that he's come with. So he had this belief for some time now. I said it before as well. There's nothing new. So I mean, you have to give him for his consistency. So it's not like based on convenience he's changing his outlook. So that is something he believes in, and so he's sticking by it. Nothing new. Okay? Because for a lot of people might think that why is he raising the issue now? He hasn't in the past. He has. So that's one thing. Yet you could still have a different view. He may have had a consistent opinion for some time. You could still disagree with him or agree. But why I see merit in what Mr. Gavaskar is saying, for a few reasons. One, see, it is true that whether it is an Indian media house or it is a broadcaster or whatever, when an India match is happening with Australia or whatever, we tend to have a lot of voices. We'll even have English or whatever voices, Kiwi and so on and so forth. And then you ask them for comments. I think what Mr. Gavaskar pointed out previously as well, let's say there's Ashes. There's Australia and England playing. Their broadcasters don't end up having a Ravi Shastri or a Gavaskar or someone to come and comment as to, has Australia picked the right team? He's saying that, Sky Sport never asks us to comment on whether England has got the right team or not. And Channel 9 is not asking anybody else from an Indian perspective that comment. Yes, they do take voices from India, but that could be about the match situation, what happened, right? But not so much on team selection, and they leave it to their own countrymen to do that. And by and large, what you're saying is right, and I have noticed that. You could still argue that fine, if other countries are not doing it, maybe as you said, India is the center of cricket. Maybe there is so much interest around Indian cricket that maybe Indian content creators, whether they're on YouTube or broadcasters, don't really bother so much about what's happening in Ashes. But for them, it makes a huge difference to, talk about Indian selection because viewership comes from India. So whether you're on YouTube, so on and so forth, you can do it. But then I'll go to the other cricketing point. And that's where I think is my strongest argument in favor of this debate in terms of what Mr. Gavaskar is saying is right, is I don't know whether that opinion that comes about is objective or not, and whether that is being used as a ploy or not. I'll give an example. And there are two major reasons for that. One, a lot of times IPL is the problem. So many times they are with their players, and then they want to curry favors with those players that are playing under them, or be in the good books of those players that are playing under them. So I will come out and say, and I'll be very vocal about why is this player not picked. Because again, now how do I look at your opinion as being neutral or objective when you're attached with that player and he misses out? Obviously, sometimes it is not just being a spokesperson, but also maybe because of proximity to a player, you like him and so you like to speak about him. Then now what happens, media puts it out, then it becomes a narrative that, selectors are wrong, selectors have made a mistake, Indian coach doesn't know, see, this is what happens. But you are going by his word and you're thinking he's saying it very honestly, but maybe he's saying because he's close to that player. So that is the one problem that
the quote is the giveaway in that, yeah.
And then secondly, it is used sometime in a different way as well, where you also use your position, and I've seen it with a lot of players, where you try and push your IPL players. In Shreyas Iyer's case, I'm not arguing that. You and I have also discussed that he was a valid reason. But then this extends to a lot of players as well. And you start, before the selection comes, you'll start hearing, oh, this is the player who's very good. This is the player who's very good. And then you'll find out that, XYZ, if he's from England or Australia or whatever, is attached to that franchise. So you can clearly make out that's why they're talking. So then again, it takes that objectivity away from that opinion. That's the other thing. And third, sometimes you could be very smart and talk in favor of your team as well. Sometimes media commentators do play the role of the 12th man. I'll give you an example. Very recently, I heard Ricky Ponting going gaga over Bashir. Oh, what a bowler he is, this, that, he must be in the squad. And you and I saw the series and weren't very impressed with Bashir. We've had various other guests who have not. We had Rajdeep the other day, wasn't very impressed. In fact, he went on to say that, Nikhil, if you were also batting against him, you would have got a 50. So my point is that was a general impression. Now, when that is the general impression that is coming, where you're saying that, okay, fine, he's doing good, but he's not really that quality off spinner. And then I hear a Ricky Ponting go about and say it, then my mind only tells me one thing, no, Ashes is coming. You set a thing, you ensure that England start looking at it like that and start believing in him. And Bashir comes into the team. What does it do? It only helps Australia. No. Bashir is no Nathan Lyon.
Yeah.
So again, how do I now take that opinion? An Indian player, whether I agree that not every opinion that comes out of an Indian player is kosher or is 100% right. The analysts, they can go wrong. There could be personal biases there as well. But I somehow feel that if it's an Indian player, he still has the best interest of the Indian team in mind. For example, you and I, we also comment and analyze, and we are critical as well about the Indian team on so many occasions. We are also praising them for the things they do right. But at the core of it is, even if we criticize them, the core is that we are highlighting these flaws because you want it to be better. So at the end is, the interest of the team is at the core of it, at the heart of it. And I'm guessing even with an Indian player, that much you can at least believe that the belief or the central thing is that Indian team should do well. And opinion then can vary. But now how, I've given an example how it is very well used to now you hype up a player that you think is not very good. You hype him up so that he gets into the team, and who benefits? My own team will benefit. You will bring him. So again, how do I not attach these motives when I hear that? So
see, the quote, many people argue the quote gives it away. We coached him in the IPL and I stand by my take. So that's a giveaway in more ways than one. But then look, the selection point, whatever Indian selectors, whatever is the Indian selection bid, it should be none of other people's business. But then it also implies that, okay, if I'm not in the selection thing, then I have no right to comment upon it.
No, I mean, you and I are not in the selection thing, but we do, right?
But then it directly is a dig then.
When the selection happened, we had Mr. Gavaskar on Sports Today comment about it.
Yeah.
As we do get a lot of other commentators to come and speak about it. Saurav Ganguly, I think, came on, there was an interview with him on our platform.
Yes. Because they were all been attached to the system.
Yeah.
But for people who are not attached to the system, then that means we can't have an opinion.
No, you and I are we attached to the system.
But then what people will then say, oh, this is the kind of statements which kind of raise a problem. it then gives them the people outside who just judge and are quick to pull the trigger on anything. The gun is given to them. If we judge, they'll directly say, they'll question our legitimacy. How can you commentate? Do you know what the selectors are doing? Have you been to all of that and all that?
That is fine. See, as I said, Siddharth, people may agree, disagree. People agree and disagree with us as well. But as I said, a lot of times I may have said something people don't agree with. A lot of times you've said something people don't agree with. But I don't think anyone can doubt our intentions. Okay? But in this case, I don't think you and I will ever hype up a player so that we hope that the narrative is built and he gets into the team, but we know he's not good enough and we want the Indian team not to do well and it should lose. I don't think that will ever be. That is
never the case.
I'm not accusing any overseas player of doing that, but I'm saying what stops them, because the other example is a lot of time they're asked what will be the result. India is going to lose 4-0. So many of them do it. I don't think they're using their cricketing logic to do that. That is also gamesmanship, to start working like that 12th man by putting pressure to ensure that the team comes under pressure. That's another thing that the Indian team in the recent times have really come up from that situation. Earlier when you used to say 4-0, we had our own secretary say 4-0, and that's exactly what happened also. But those were different times in Indian cricket. Then after that, 4-0s in Australia, then England, and all those predictions changed. The Indian team, the last decade and a half or so, has completely turned that around. But the intention, why it is said. Okay. So that's why I'm saying, in a way, you could agree, disagree with what Mr. Gavaskar is saying, but I think there are both sides of the coin that you need to look at.
See, it is a poison chalice, Indian cricket. Because you are the economic might, you can't take your eyes away. You will have to commentate on anything micro, because the IPL has ensured we are all one family.
No, Indian cricket, even if there was no IPL in that sense, Indian cricket still gets the most eyeballs. Yeah. So even if you're a overseas content creator, and as much as I know, whether you're in Australia, England, Pakistan, wherever, you're discussing Indian cricket.
Exactly.
Outside of the IPL also.
Yeah.
Because there is where the maximum eyeballs is. This is the team that is the most followed team. If you create content around the Indian team, I'm not even saying IPL, Indian team, it will be discussed the most.
Absolutely.
You can cover the England-South Africa series. You can cover the tri-series. You can do whatever. Yes, there will be people who will watch.
So Haddin's only doing what it is. Opinion on what's topical in Indian cricket, in world cricket. So that's why India needs, content creators need India. India doesn't need content creators in that sense.
Sure. Okay, let's get down to what our subject at hand is. What have you picked for us today, sir?
Well, the topic that we have picked is the whole Sanju Samson conundrum, which is deepening with every single day. Now, with Rahul Dravid's departure, is it also the time that Sanju Samson bids adieu to the Rajasthan Royals? Because there are a lot of reports going now that captaincy is gone from him. Captaincy of Rajasthan Royals is now not certain anymore for him in 2026. With Dravid gone, is Sanju also on the way out?
I would look at it differently, wouldn't you? That now that Rahul Dravid's left, and first things first, let's be honest about it, whether people like it or not. I think how Rajasthan Royals treated Sanju Samson last season was abysmal. I don't think he deserved that. He's been a long-term loyalist of Rajasthan Royals. He's done very well as captain as well as batter. And the way you treated him last season, I don't think it was ideal. I'm not, raising fingers at anyone. I'm not saying there's only one person responsible, but if the whole culture was not ideal, then the father figure of the franchise will have to take the brunt. And in this case, it was Rahul Dravid, right? It's not hidden from you and I, things that were done. For our viewers as well, to refresh their memory, he was injured. He could have very well travelled with the team, but you didn't get him to travel with the team. Ruturaj Gaikwad was also injured, and he was ruled out, but he was travelling. Sanju Samson wasn't even ruled out, but you were leaving him back in one place and you were travelling without him. I think that was quite disrespectful. Secondly, when the tournament started, he was not well. We were told that he's recovering from an injury to begin with, but he can bat. You took away the captaincy at that time as well. He could have batted. He was batting. He was not out on the field. You could have still made him the captain and had your vice captain lead the team during the fielding. Anyway, nowadays T20 cricket, the way it works, signals go from outside. The captain could have been there. You could have kept him involved. You know, it was a case of 3 matches where he will bat, and he was batting anyway. He could have been captain. While fielding, vice captain takes over. What's the thing? But you removed him. You were not sending him for toss, whatever. I don't think it was an ideal scenario to begin with. Then we all know what happened in that Delhi Capital game. Super over. Scenes are visible where you could clearly see that he's there. Why wouldn't you involve him? He may not have been the captain at that time. Why wouldn't you involve him in that decision making? He was not. And then there is a clear visual where another player is telling him, you know, come join us, and he's saying, no, I don't want to. Let me be out. You can clearly make that out. So, and now that those reports are pretty accurate, very soon after the season is over, he's told the franchise, let me go, yeah. And I think he's 100% right. All he's saying is, let me go to a more peaceful environment and play. And that's what he's saying. So clearly things weren't right. Now, going back to your question, you're saying that if Rahul Dravid is gone, then I think maybe they've parted ways, Rajasthan and Rahul Dravid, to ensure that Sanju stays on. To ensure that Sanju can be now given the confidence that he so deserved, which he didn't get last time.
But okay, see, I think if Sanju Samson, if that was the case, then I don't think Dravid would have been the sacrificial lamb. It would have been Sanju. Because apparently the way how we have built this up, it seems that the bridges are burnt. Not between Dravid and RR or Dravid and Sanju. Sanju and RR, the bridges are burnt. Because clearly there was a lot. I think there are camps in the RR franchisee. Either self-created or not created. I mean, there is a clear push for a new captain. You had a glimpse of what was going on in 2025. You had a glimpse of a new captain. That happened. The team didn't know what to do. You are in danger of alienating one more young superstar in the whole process. Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Oh, there were reports that he was not happy right from the start.
Exactly. Rajasthan Royals, either by these two happenstances, what are you going to do? I think what they decided is, okay, if you believe in that, I think even Dravid also was fed up with the way how things were. As I said, people who have gone back to their original franchises, they have quit.
I don't know. I see if that was the case, that if Sanju did get the backing. And by the way, that is another interesting thing, because if you look at it traditionally, Rahul Dravid was the number one backer of Sanju Samson when he was India coach as well. Yeah. We know that they both share a very good relationship. He's the one who insisted that he'll be there and, you know, tried to keep him in the scheme of things. Of course, there were, you know, other competitors at that time. Rishabh Pant was still one of your top keepers. There was Ishan Kishan, who was having a good time with the Indian team. So it wasn't really easy to, have Sanju Samson, but Rahul Dravid really backed him. In fact, Sanju Samson himself later narrated that Rahul had a word with him, kept him in loop, told him that, you're in the scheme of things, start preparing for being a finisher because you want to accommodate him. So they did share a great bond, and I actually thought that with them together, the partnership, and they're so thick that it'll do well, but it didn't quite turn out that way. So, I mean, I find it a little hard to believe that if at that moment Rahul Dravid wanted to back Sanju Samson, that he would have had to have gone through these things. I think somewhere Sanju didn't get the backing, because see, at the end of the day, if you make someone like a Rahul Dravid the in charge of the team, which he was, there is no way that someone else could be deciding who the captain is in those first 3 games, whether Sanju travels with the team or not. That much you can do. If you remember Kumar Sangakkara, who had been with the team earlier, they actually made way, and the team had done well under him, to make way for Dravid once he was done with the India assignment. And then Kumar Sangakkara was also not involved. He used to be sitting in the stand, even though he had a larger global role, but he used to be in the stand because they had given the entire reins in Rahul Dravid's hand, and which is the right way to go. And yet, if Sanju didn't get that thing, I don't know, maybe Sanju felt let down. Maybe he didn't get the kind of backing that he wants. I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, that maybe now that they have made the change in the leadership there, in the coaching setup, I think that could pave the way for them to get Sanju back on into the fold, saying that, listen, we'll try and set it. Because you remember before that, when Sangha was there, Sanju did enjoy the leadership, and he was given a free hand. Maybe they want to create that environment again. Maybe with him, let's say if they do go back to a Sangakkara or whoever, maybe they do create that environment and hold Sanju back, because I think they would need a captain like that. I mean, yes, Rihan is a young player who's, who enjoys a lot of support there. As you said, there were camps. The last report I read, there were 3 different camps who wanted 3 different things, and maybe all of that was not great. And so, they've set the house in order.
But there is a dark underbelly to Rahul Dravid as a coach and a mentor, because yes, I don't know, for a guy who is so methodical and for a guy who always is a analyst geek, he's every analyst geek's dream. He had great success in under-19. He had great success in the A Tour. He helped India win the 2024 T20 World Cup. But his IPL numbers are horrendous.
Yeah.
In 5 instances, when you look at it, again, let us see IPL coach / mentor.
Yeah, I mean, those are just fancy names. At the end of the day, you make someone a mentor, but you give the whole soul in charge. So when you say mentor / coach, I think it's pretty much
the same.
Yeah. You could call it a manager in footballing terms.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is his stint, and you're right, actually.
Because see, 2014, you were leading at one point in time and you slid down to 5th. He flung his cap down in that Wankhede incident, which I still can't believe how Rajasthan Royals could lose it.
In fact, I go back to that season. I can't believe from where they were, they did not qualify for the top 4. They were the top 2 team throughout that thing, and then at a downward slide right at the death, didn't even make the top 4. Exactly. That was the most bizarre season that I've seen. But I thought at that time that was an anomaly, and it can happen to anyone.
Rajasthan defied that mandate in 2023 also, 2024. They were on top, then they almost squeaked through the playoffs. And what happened? They lost, I think, 6 out of 7 games. That 1 win came in the eliminator in 2024. 2015, the best season under Rahul Dravid. They finished 4th, but then lost in the eliminator. 16 and 17 with Delhi Daredevils. Those were the seasons, I think, Delhi Daredevils had no direction. What to do? 2025, I think, with everything, the whole edifice crumbled. And that's why 9th. They were lucky that they finished 9th, because CSK did one worse than them.
So see, that's why I say I think the buck stops with your mentor / coach, because he sets the whole mood of the team. And I think 2025 season a perfect example of that, because if you look at that Rajasthan team on paper, it doesn't look as shabby a team to have finished 9th. And then you see so many games that you can think of which they should have been on the winning side, which could have easily taken them to the top 4, if not top 4, at least be competing for the top 4 had they won those half chances. What typically happens, those half chances game you take, okay, half we'll lose, half we'll win. But in Rajasthan's case, all half chances game they lost only. Didn't win any of those half chances game. And that's, I think, is the biggest indicator that everything is not right. But a lot of time we analyze and our viewers as well, everyone tries to look at the teams and then analyze how they do well. But you only look at the strengths and weaknesses on paper. One factor which we'll never know is how united the team is, how good the atmosphere within the team is. And that you only get to know once the team starts playing. And one of the biggest reasons why 50-50 games, why is it that certain teams always win those 50-50 games or win most of the time? Why is it that certain team always end up losing those 50-50 games more often than not? It is this camaraderie that takes you through. If you're a well-knit unit, you're playing for each other, the direction is clear, those 50-50 games will go your way. When all of this is not there, if it is a house in chaos, those 50-50 games go away from you. And I think this particular season told you not just I don't think it was indicative of the players and their performance. It was indicative of the environment within the team.
I mean, the environment, then it boils down to just two people then. Rahul and Sanju. Sanju, senior most. Amongst that whole team, he was the senior.
But how much did the role, if the man is not even involved in deciding who's going to be playing the super over, how
then why was his injury been so confounded?
You think he would have been happy? That's what I'm trying to say. He is injured. First 3 games where he was not going to be keeping, but he was going to be batting. You think he would have been happy being just the batter?
No.
But
then who took that decision?
It's obviously the top management that will take the decision.
Including Rahul Dravid.
100%. You think if Rahul Dravid wanted Sanju Samson to be captain, he wouldn't have been captain.
I don't know what happened. See, this was so unlike Rahul Dravid. A guy who wants continuity, a guy who says that, okay, this man is the right fit for the job. Why on earth could he not control it? Why on earth did he allow all those things to ensure, one, Sanju's confidence would be dented, and second, you thrust a player into a particular role where he was clearly not ready for, by the way. And look, Rahul Dravid at this point in time, he's been told to go. It's not as if he's gone on his own will. He was told to go. That's the message. Told to go, and on top of that, with the way how Sanju was treated, I think the indications are clear. Sanju can't continue in the RR setup because there are camps. And there is one particular camp which is insisting that Sanju can't be the captain. For 6 years, he didn't do anything. He's not helped Rajasthan reach the heights where they should be. One final, one qualified 2.
Yeah, but that happened in the last 2 seasons and suddenly you go to 9th.
Yeah.
2 back-to-back decent season. One you reach the final, good season I'll say. And you're gone right now. So clearly there's a dip. It's almost the same team. I don't know why it has happened, but it kind of takes me back to the Greg Chappell and Rahul Dravid time. And as I said, for someone, you're right, for someone who's so good as a coach for young players, as a mentor for young players, I mean, anyone who's been at the A level or under 19 level swears by Rahul Dravid, the coach, and he's really had an impact on a lot of young players. I don't know what really has happened at the senior level, especially the IPL. And this environment of Rajasthan takes me time to that Greg Chappell phase, which was one of the darkest phases in Indian cricket, and I happened to be travelling in those times. Country to country, traveling with the Indian team, covering it, and I can tell you, I mean, 2007 World Cup, India knocked out. Those 3 days I was there in the hotel. That environment was of an environment where no one trusted each other. Yeah. Everyone thought that he is gunning for me, and that's never good. It was happening between the players, and the core of it was Greg Chappell and again, Greg Chappell's coaching ideas may not be bad. I think the place that he was trying to execute it, that was India, in that setup, probably was the wrong way. Maybe Indian players needed to be dealt with differently, and you needed to understand the culture and the functioning of the team to have done it. But that really was a dark phase. And at those times, some of the top players were also not very happy, and Rahul was a captain and felt that they didn't get the kind of backing that they so wanted from someone like a Rahul Dravid. Now, that's not to say that Rahul Dravid didn't want to back them, but I think that's what I'm saying. He's always a righteous kind of a guy who always believes in the right thing and wouldn't want to, he's a sort of player which I mentioned earlier also. He underrates his own performances, where most players really enjoy it, when they are being praised or when their performances are made much of. He was one of those guys, and I've known him quite closely. He was one of those guys who wouldn't make much of his own performances. But I guess, that what makes him very different to the general setup, where, I don't know, for example, that double 100 controversy, and you can look at it both ways. I think Sachin was also aggrieved to have been upset. You could have allowed him to get a 200. It wouldn't have been that much of a difference. Rahul Dravid was in his way right to have taken the call. I think Rahul Dravid did not take that call because it was, Sachin there. I think Rahul Dravid would have taken the call had he himself been batting. But then that's how he sees cricket, and that's how he is. Maybe he needed to see, slightly differently. So I guess That's what happens. That's the only explanation, because you were saying, how can that happen? Someone who's so good. Maybe when you deal with a team of young kids and how you inspire them and guide them and coach them is very different to when you then come at a senior level where there's a very different way of seeing
But
things.
see, correct me if I am wrong. When you look at, hi sir. You look at this 21st century, we've had 5 captains. Let's look at 5 captains. Saurav Ganguly, you look at Rahul Dravid, Anil Kumble, MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. 6 captains. Am I wrong in saying that 4 out of these players are spoken about very highly? But 2 of them, and these 2 include a Rahul Dravid and Anil Kumble, is not spoken about much for the captaincy bit. Because under Dravid, you had 2 epic series victories which broke the jinx. West Indies you won after 35 years. Prior to that and even after that, Dravid is the only captain who's helped you win in England. No one's won it after that and before him.
No.
For 20 years at least.
No. I have said this many times. I think he's the most underrated Test captain that you had. The team did exceedingly well, and he as batter also really stepped up. So, again, as I said,
because of all these things, because what we are seeing in Rajasthan right now isn't an aberration, that it's been this dark underbelly that has never come out into the open. Because we may all say that Greg Chappell was responsible for the destruction of Indian cricket from 2005 to 2007. But how much of a role did even Rahul Dravid have? Because even Ganguly said the relations were strained between him and Dravid in that period.
But if you see, I think the core person who's responsible for that time is clearly Greg Chappell. And if you see, once Chappell kind of goes, Rahul Dravid gives up the captaincy himself. Because again, how many people would give up captaincy? I know this for a fact that after the 2007 World Cup, Indian cricket and BCCI was keen that Rahul Dravid continues because he had some very good results as captain. But then I'm saying that he's the self-righteous, always wants to do the right thing. He himself stepped down. He's the one who told them that, no, 2007 World Cup, go with a young team. Let us all be out and you look at it this way. And step down. And that's when then you had to look at an interim captain when Anil Kumble then was made the Test captain. So he would do that. But I don't think he was directly responsible for that phase. But what some of the players that I've had private conversations with who played at that time did feel that he didn't take their side as much as he should. But then that's what I'm saying. That's his personality. It's not that he intended to leave them high and dry. But that's how he is. He is very different to, maybe not as emotional as a lot of other players. Maybe much more practical in his approach. And that kind of didn't work at that moment. So,
because in a different avatar, what Chappell Ganguly endured, in a different avatar, in a new era, it is Sanju and Rahul. Biggest backer, help me in tough times. But one bad season where I was just tossed around like a rag doll and my self-esteem was absolutely pummeled to the ground.
No, I think the fair comparison is Ganguly, Chappell, Sanju, Dravid.
Ganguly, Chappell, Sanju, Dravid. Rahul Dravid backed me entirely. But one season, that's it. I'm done.
And Ganguly got Chappell because he had gone to Australia and he was very impressed with Chappell. Only for Chappell to come in.
It is a cycle repeating after 20 years. And similar. Chappell had such an influence on Ganguly. Dravid had such an influence on Sanju for 10 years. Suddenly in one season, it's all broken down in a big way. Which is why Rajasthan have gotten their way. Both Dravid confirmed out, Sanju all but out from the setup.
Okay, let's dive in and take a few questions that we've got.
Yeah. Okay. Abhishek Ranjan. Nick sir, apart from Sanju and Rinku who are playing domestic T20, what are the updates of the other players? Are they practicing in Centre of Excellence? Many of the players don't play white ball for a while. Thoughts?
No, a lot of them are not there. Some might go back there, I believe. Some of them have stayed back to to practice a bit. So I guess as far as white ball is concerned, I think let's say for a Rohit or Virat, you might see them in that A series that you will have. You might see the rest of them now, the remaining white ball players only playing against Oman now on the 10th, I think.
No, UAE.
First game is UAE?
UAE. 10th, then...
first is UAE, correct.
First, 14th is Pakistan,
Oman's
last
later.
is Oman and Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, so I think that's the first time you'll see them.
Yeah, oof, it's been quite a while. And Suresh is like very optimistic that Cameron Green will break the bank in IPL mini auction. Well, mini auctions you will get record sums. I don't know.
Ah, it's a good shout out anyway.
Yeah.
All-rounder, always needed.
But
big
not
hitter.
been bowling for a long time.
Oh,
so
but big hitter will still take it.
Harsh Khatri is like saying, Dravid is not good enough as a senior coach. He was lucky Rohit was the captain when he was the coach. But yeah, it's a 50-50 even there. You didn't win the ODI World Cup, but you won the T20 World Cup.
And by the way, I think the proof of the pudding is, in eating it. And so if the players themselves, a lot of those players had high regard for Rahul Dravid, including Captain Rohit, who did give a lot of credit to Rahul Dravid and the way he continued.
Exactly.
We have Awesome India who says, sir, आपको अपने चैनल का नाम संजू PR चैनल रख लेना चाहिए. जब देखो तब संजू की PR. I think Awesome India is a new thing. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, but I like your comment. I'll tell you why. Go back a few months and we were being accused of Sanju haters as well. I hope those haters are also watching today. We have Mr. Awesome India who's saying we are his PR channel. As I said, these kind of comments keep our hope and our energy alive. We know that we are doing the right thing, and we don't do PR, or we are not haters of anyone. None of them are uncle's son, and none of them are sworn enemies, so they cannot be ever that sort of a scenario. Please keep, Pawan, we'll take some questions. There were a few more there. We'll just take all of them one by one.
Anshu Mishra saying England are 131 all out in the ODI against South Africa.
No, they were 5 down for 100 and something. What are you saying?
Test खेल
Oh yeah.
ODI बट से बदतर हो गया है. Yeah. Yes.
But they were 107 for 5.
And they have lost 24 runs, 5 wickets they have lost.
Oh my God.
What a collapse.
Keshav Maharaj. 4 and Vian Mulder 3.
Oh yes. South Africa are building some serious momentum heading into the T20 World Cup. Serious momentum they're building up. So yeah, playing tests in that sense, उनका ODI बद से बदतर हो गया. Yeah, true. 2025 they didn't win a single game in the CT if I'm not mistaken. 2023 horrible defense, the worst defense by a British entity in any kind of sports.
Okay, go down. We'll take a few more before we wind up.
Maharaj Keshav.
Okay, Aravind Atreas saying, Nikhil sir, Pat Cummins likely to be ruled out of Ashes. Every fast bowler is same overload, catch up with everyone. That actually is true.
It is not entirely true, Aravind. Yes, he's got a lumbar stress reaction, but it isn't a fracture. So he's not playing any of the white ball series versus India and New Zealand. There is a hope that he can be ready for the Ashes. November 21st, you have 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Should be okay. But yeah, anything. But if Cummins goes, Smith will captain and Scott Boland will get a chance.
Wow.
If not Hazelwood, then
no, I mean
Cummins.
Not having Cummins is a loss, but
It
still,
is.
I mean that's the bench strength that they have. Yeah. Abhishek Ranjan says, sir, is India going with number 8 batting option because GG likes batting depth? What's your opinion? 100% Abhishek. I have no doubt they're going to do that.
Yeah.
So that is almost pretty much confirmed. Anshu Mishra says, Nikhil sir, you are living in Delhi and I also am from Delhi for exam. No, I was also in Delhi for exam preparation. Biggest treasure of Delhi is metro. Outstanding connection across city. Second largest. Why you didn't use metro for office. Anshu, must tell you that I stay in Noida. My office is in Noida, and for me it's not that far. But I agree with you that if I was to go pan Delhi somewhere, I could have used a metro, but it was raining so much. No, so while metro, completely agree with you. Delhi metro is by far the best metro that you have in India. I am seeing horror stories about metro in Mumbai and how badly it has been done. Delhi is amazing. The only issue is that, you know, door to door is not easy to get to a metro. Not like London, where you can just get to a station right from where you are, just 5-minute walk. Right now, to get to a station can take you 15-20 minutes, and in the rain that was there, it's not really easy to do that. But yes, still I believe it is the best. Man, Siddharth just went to Chennai, used the metro. I asked him, why didn't you take a cab and go to the airport? He said, no, I would have saved 1 hour, and he did save. So we use metro.
Delhi is the best city in the world because of the metro. The metro is this.
World to zyada ho gaya.
No, but metro, see, it has eased congestion of so much. But yeah, for other things, it's bad, Delhi.
No,
Pollution,
India, you can
heat.
say, but world, like other places have amazing metro connectivity.
If I go
The
there.
London Underground.
Yeah, I've been to the London, but I think it was far more chaotic. Yeah, the best metro, I think, in the world should be Tokyo.
Tokyo as well, yeah.
Tokyo is awesome. So is Shanghai.
I haven't been, so.
Yeah, that's what but Tokyo.
Paris is also nice.
I haven't been.
But not as good as
Yeah.
London. London was
I
incredible.
thought London's far more
I've even
chaotic.
done the subway in New
Yeah,
York. New York
New
is
York
also there.
subway,
But I don't know, London Underground.
But I think New York subway, the cleanliness has now become an
yeah,
issue.
but we go from India for us every place. I keep hearing New York is not clean, but when I went there,
Yeah, it's
I'm going
incredibly
from
clean,
Indian cities, everything looks clean only.
No, but I think the Delhi metro needs credit in the sense that
Ha,
its cleanliness.
Yes. And people also behave much better.
Much
there.
better, yeah.
That I agree with
Although
you.
the fighting happens and shouting, that's okay.
That तो Nitish Rana told just now. मैं दिल्ली का हूँ गरम खून का
गरम
ही है,
खून का ही
तो
हूँ, yeah.
बोल दिया उसने.
It's such a lame excuse.
Okay, final comment. Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan says, Nikhil bhai and Sidvi, you guys picked Fab 4 of red ball. Today, tell top 4 players of white ball. White ball, without doubt, Sachin Tendulkar, Viv Richards,
Yeah.
without doubt.
Ponting or Gilchrist?
No. I'd put Virat Kohli there.
Virat Kohli, yeah.
Virat Kohli, Sachin, Viv, Rohit Sharma.
Ganguly?
I picked my 4.
Okay.
You go pick your 4.
Sachin, Virat, definitely. Number 3.
Actually, I can exclude Viv because he played one day in red ball.
Red
mostly.
ball.
So he's saying white ball.
White ball, yeah.
I can fit in somebody else. Nah. I'll go Glenn McGrath.
White ball.
Man of the series of a World Cup win.
Most World Cup wickets ever.
Yeah.
Which might never be overhauled.
Yeah, correct. How many World Cups? 3.
3.
99?
No, he played 4. 96. He played 96 also.
No, but 96 Sri Lanka won, no?
Yeah, but then he played in that, McGrath.
No, wins.
Win is 3. 99, 2003, 2007.
3 World Cups.
1 final and 3 World Cup titles. Man, oh man.
No. 4. No, 99 I don't think he was there.
He was there, McGrath.
So 2003,
Yeah.
2007,
99.
99. Ha, correct. 3. Correct.
3 World
Yeah.
Cup titles and a
Ah,
final.
yeah.
What clutch mentality.
Yeah.
71 wickets. I don't
So
think
I'm
anybody
putting
will.
McGrath there.
Yeah. Tough one. I mean, Sachin, Virat, definitely. For his all-round exploits, Sanath. Sanath Jayasuriya.
Good shout. Very good shout.
Yeah. And my Sri Lankan bias, Aravinda.
No, I mean that you're getting romantic. For me also the
I
greatest.
know.
But
Okay.
the top 4, Fab 4.
Then I would say for clutch mentality,
Wasim Akram, by the way.
Inzama Mulak.
Inzi also, Wasim also.
Yeah, Wasim. Yeah.
White ball.
But top 4, I would say, I think we can exclude into bowlers or batters. Top 4 batters, top 4 bowlers at this point.
Okay, for now just do batters. And be done with
Batters
it.
for me is Sachin, Virat, Sanath, Inzi.
Now I've gone batters, Sachin. There's Ricky Ponting also. So I'm going Sachin, Ponting, Virat, Rohit.
Virat, Rohit, yeah.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
All right, on that note, thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live dugout. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. From me and Nikhil, it's goodbye, Nandri, Vanakkam, Shobratri, Shabba Khair. Eat your vegetables, don't trouble your mother. Stay safe currently, wherever you are, because of this rain. Do stay safe. Bye-bye.